Welcome back to Hard Truths with Hardy, where you get the hard, cold facts from your favorite real estate agent, Gail Hardy. Today we're going to talk about why I love living in Knoxville. But before we get there, let's talk about one of my local favorites. If you love a good steak, and I do, but fun fact first, I actually didn't start eating steak until I was about 32 years old. I thought I didn't like steak. I had such a small palette of things I had eaten and tried. I was just really picky. And one day somebody talked me into eating steak, and I've loved it ever since. But let me tell you where to find the best steak in Knoxville. Connors and Turkey Creek. Their steak is so much better than anywhere else you'll go, and let me tell you why. They cook it on a wood-fired grill, and they know how to season a steak. I personally believe if you have to put Heinz 57 or Worcestershire or whatever on your steak, then it's probably a real crappy steak. They don't do any of that. So if you want a good steak, you need to go to Connors. Way better than Texas Roadhouse and all those other places. Connors is a local restaurant that's actually headquartered out of Knoxville, Tennessee, but it's become so popular that it's expanded throughout the Southeast. So it's not just in Knoxville now. It is so good. Really, anything you try there, absolutely delicious. We even had our team dinner there last year. So give it a shot. I think you'll love it. Knoxville, Tennessee was never a place that I intended to move. I'm sure most of you guys have heard me talk about that. I came here in 1999. I moved here from Indiana. I had literally never, ever been to Knoxville, Tennessee. We didn't have GPS back then. I had an atlas, and that's how I came to Knoxville, Tennessee. I can remember moving here and asking somebody where to find an apartment, and they were of little to no help. I ended up living on Western Avenue for a year before I bought a home in 2000, but I've loved it ever since I moved here. To me, it feels so much like home. I'm from Somerset, which is a small town, but I lived in Lexington, Kentucky for 5 years when I was going to college. That's right, I made a 4-year degree into 5, baby. So I'd never thought I'd leave Lexington, but unfortunately Walmart had other plans for me. I didn't get to stay in Lexington like I thought, but I've always said if I didn't live in Knoxville, Lexington is where I would live. Knoxville became home very quickly. To me, the people are so friendly. It's an easy town to navigate. I am surprised at how much it's grown since I moved here. Granted, that's been 27 years, and obviously anything would grow in that time. But this town has become so much more. I mean, just look at Turkey Creek. All that was a big giant field when I came to Knoxville. Easttown Mall's gone. It's now an Amazon distribution center. There's new neighborhoods popping up everywhere. Tons of new development. For example, Walmart is getting ready to put another 3 to 4 stores in our area. Heritage out in Alcoa. They're doing another store on 66 in Sevierville. They're going to do a small format store off Shod Road. If you're looking for a town that's growing, look at where Walmart's going. They really have a great plan, and they only move into cities where growth is large. Obviously, Knoxville, Tennessee is a great place to live, and so you see Walmart moving in and putting in additional stores here. But it's not just Walmart. I mean, look at all the new development. You've got the Grassy Creek area over off Shod Road. The extension to Shod Road's finally finished. There's tons of new restaurants and stores moving in. Turkey Creek is always changing out. There's a lot of new development down there. New restaurants in the downtown Market Square area. I mean, really, I think it's a great place to live. For me, it's not as big as living in like Nashville or, someplace huge like LA. There's enough stuff to do. You can run to the mountains in 45 minutes. There's places to go eat. There's fun things to do, but you don't feel like it's so big that you get swallowed whole in our city. And I love that. I feel like I've been here long enough now to be considered a local. I get a little bit hurt when somebody says if you weren't born here, you're not a local. I mean, I've been here long enough to be a local, I think. I was trying to think if there was one specific minute or one moment in time where I thought, this is home and I don't think I'll ever leave. And I can't think of a specific time. When my parents were alive, they used to always want me to come back to Kentucky. And I can remember thinking, I can't imagine leaving here. It's only about 2 hours to get to where I'm from in Kentucky. And to me, that's really a pretty good distance to go home and visit family or for them to visit me. But I just love it here. What's not to love? It's a great place to live. I can't think of anything bad that I want to say about Knoxville, Tennessee. It's easy to navigate. And just honestly, it boils down to the people are nice. And I like that. So let's talk about Knoxville favorites. I've got plenty. From things to do, favorite places to go. I love VG's Bakery. They make the best red velvet cake in town. But honestly, I've never had anything there that wasn't good. O'Connor's is my favorite steak restaurant. But there are so many things to do here in Knoxville. For example, downtown Market Square always has something going on. There's the Chalk Walk downtown, Mardi Gras, the Rossini Festival, Dogwood Arts. There's always something going on in Market Square, even if it's just the farmers markets every weekend. We've also got a little bit of arts and theater. We've got the Bijou. We've got Tennessee Theater that's always having concerts and Broadway performances. The Relics Theater, always something going on. And then if you look within Knoxville, there's lots of little communities within. For example, South Knox is becoming huge. I look at the growth in South Knox. I was driving through there the other day when I was visiting Redbud Kitchen with my family, and I thought it'll be interesting to see what South Knox looks like in a couple years. There's a lot of road construction going on. A lot of old businesses are going out. Buildings are being torn down or gentrified and cleaned up. And I think South Knox is going to be huge. It's already growing leaps and bounds. There's a lot of people that are looking for places to go outside of West Knoxville because it's so full in West Knoxville already. So you're seeing a lot of pockets around the county that are really growing and becoming popular in little communities of their own. North Knox is another one. Fountain City's a great area to visit. Litton's is there. Everybody knows about the Litton's Burger and their bakery and all their great desserts, also owned by a local family. There's so many things to do in Knoxville, and it's also a really convenient area. It's only an hour and a half, 2 hours to Asheville. We're close to Louisville, Lexington, Atlanta. All those are just a quick 2 to 3 hours away. So it's pretty conveniently located to get to a lot of things. And you can't forget I-75 and I-40 run right through Knoxville. So you can hop on the interstate and get anywhere you want to go pretty quick. There's a bunch of great places to live here in East Tennessee, even if Knoxville's not your destination. There's lots of towns around Knoxville, especially if you're looking for a small town like Sweetwater, Madisonville. There's a lot of great places to live. Find a great realtor like me who's going to steer you to the right area that's perfect for you. We've got something for everybody. If you want to live close to the mountains or if you'd rather be a little closer to the city, Knoxville's the place to go. Be on the lookout every Wednesday for a new podcast episode on YouTube or Spotify, Hard Truths with Hardy. And as always, I'm ready to help you find your way home. See you next week.